Hey, it's your girl Shay Shay. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time, and welcome back if you've been here before.
Christmas is over, and it looks like Nicki Minaj might be too, because after what just happened before Christmas, the internet seems perfectly happy to leave her in 2025 and move on into the next year without bringing her dusty tail with us. Right before Christmas, Nicki made a very public appearance on the Turning Point USA stage, and for a lot of people, it wasn't just controversial, it was clarifying. Not because Nicki isn't talented, and not because she doesn't have a legacy, but because her relationship with the audience that built her has been eroding for years. Nicki's core audience has always been the girlies, the gays, and the theys. Black women, queer fans, people who didn't just listen to her music but defended her at every turn. And this moment for many, it felt like she was turning on them. Not just politically, but symbolically, because that stage choice alienated large parts of her black audience, her LGBTQ+ audience, and fans who already felt dismissed. Today, we're going to talk about what happens when an artist misreads the room, underestimates their base, and learns that loyalty isn't unconditional. So let's talk about it.
Disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take anything said here too seriously. It's just jokes, gossip, and opinions. Please relax and enjoy the video.
Everything presented in this video is alleged. I'm only spreading the word on the curb, and in no way I'm giving my personal opinion. Just before Christmas, Nicki Minaj made a surprise appearance on stage at Turning Point USA's America Fest in Phoenix, Arizona. This is the conservative youth organization led by Erica Kirk, CEO and widow of Charlie Kirk, a space known for its politically charged rhetoric and alignment with the serving president Donald Trump of the US. And the thing is, Nicki wasn't there just for a cameo. She went on stage, spoke at length, and made her alignment very clear. She said things along the lines of, "I have the utmost respect and admiration for President Trump. He gives people hope." She also praised Vice President J.D. Vance, calling him an assassin, which was thoroughly awkward given the context of Charlie Kirk's passing. And then came one of the lines that pissed people off the hardest, where she said, "Boys, just be boys." She framed it as a call for boys to just be boys, but critics immediately noted it and reading something else in that message, that people born male who experience serious gender dysphoria shouldn't pursue medical treatment, which goes against accepted medical guidance and guidelines in numerous jurisdictions. Although I'm not a doctor, I highly recommend you do your own research on the topic, especially through medical journals and those types of sources. And this was striking for a lot of people because Nicki has historically been a supporter of her LGBTQ+ fans, especially considering that she's been on RuPaul's Drag Race. And now in front of a conservative audience with Erica Kirk watching, it felt like a turn against them. It wasn't subtle and it wasn't accidental. Standing on that stage, publicly praising Trump, repeating her "boys just be boys" line, really pissed a lot of people off. And as if that wasn't enough, she decided that she was also going to talk about this whole Sydney Sweeney situation, where she was bragging in an advert for American Eagle's jeans that she had good genes because her hair was blonde and her eyes were blue. Nicki Minaj felt the need to say that the criticism was unwarranted and that as a black woman, she didn't need to bring white women with blue eyes and blonde hair down in order to make herself feel beautiful as a black woman, completely ignoring the fact that that ad for a lot of people had references to eugenics, which is not just about making certain people feel better. It talks about genetic superiority and the consequences that come from genetic superiority.
So I'm getting texts like about Nicki, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know. Then, I researched and saw what was going on, and I'm gonna say it like this: celebrities' opinions of other celebrities does not matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. So my opinion of her does not matter. But what I will tell you is you're about to see an influx of people who see that it is more profitable and more beneficial to join that side. You're going to see it. It already started, and it's going to continue. This is his first year. This is Trump's first year as president. We got 3 more years of people who are going to surprise you. And it's going to hurt your feelings and it's going to disappoint you. And you have to know that there's money behind everything. There are privileges behind every move people in these positions make. And I'm not surprised.
To understand why the TPUSA appearance landed like a bomb, you need to look at what led to the situation. This wasn't a sudden mistake, it was the next step in a trajectory that's been building for years. Over the past year, Nicki Minaj has spoken publicly about the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. She highlighted reports of people being targeted, driven from their homes, or unalive simply for how they pray. She even brought it up at a United Nations event, thanking political figures for drawing attention to the issue. This was then relayed and highlighted by the Trump administration, seeing a public alignment online of their and Nicki Minaj's viewpoints on various political issues. Then there's the Gavin Newsom controversy. Nicki criticized the governor's support for transgender youth, mocking aspects of gender-affirming care and framing it as something people shouldn't encourage. That rubbed a large part of her fan base the wrong way, especially those who had long seen her as an ally of their community. For years, Nicki has been gradually losing alignment with some of the people who built her career. The fans who streamed her music, defended her on social media, and championed her persona. First, there was the Nigerian Christians and the aligning with Trump. Then the Gavin Newsom situation, and finally other politically charged topics weren't controversies in isolation. They were part of a pattern of choices that made certain fans feel left out or at odds with her. So by the time she showed up on that conservative stage, this wasn't even shocking to a lot of people. It was the logical next step in a path that many fans have been watching unfold. What seems to be the big difference this time is how people are reacting.
At this point, I feel that she has to go to an extreme because you need allies. And for obvious reasons, she lives here in California. Gavin Newsom, she feels like he's not protecting her or he's not an ally to her. So she's flipped on that and he's the governor here. So where do you go from here if you are Nicki Minaj, powerful, famous, and you don't have any bridges within your industry? You don't feel safe in your state. Well, you go where you feel like the days of the world, the industries and the other politicians in your state, you go where you feel like they can't reach you or you will have support. So if I'm going to be online tearing up Twitter, trashing people, dragging people, coming against powerful figures in my business, in my industry, where do I go from here? Well, I'm going to go to the white Republican MAGA party. It's powerful money there. I mean, it's power there, it's money there, and they don't give a shit about any of this. And honestly, if I align myself with that, they will in fact protect me. That is a machine that has the control right now. They're in office, and ultimately they have billions of dollars, and they will give me the protection that I need.
And the response to Nicki's TPUSA appearance was swift, child, and for a lot of fans, it was unforgivable. Reports surfaced that she lost around 10 million Instagram followers. That's equivalent to certain countries. That's not just numbers, that's visible and a public signal of disengagement. Fans weren't just talking online, they were clicking on follow in droves. On social media, reactions range from stunned silence to outright criticisms. Some fans expressed disappointment, others frustrations, and many simply chose to step back. And then came the Instagram deletion, which amplified the story. Nicki vanished from the platform, leaving speculation, screenshots, and viral clips to tell the story. It wasn't just about the follower count on social media, it felt like a turning point, if you can forgive the pun, for her career. A moment where some of the most loyal fans who have been with her through thick and thin finally decided to throw in the towel and resign from being a bar. And while some fans tried to rationalize or excuse the appearance, the general sentiment was clear. People feel disconnected and that this might really be it. It'll be interesting to see how this affects the rollout of her album coming out in early next year.
Apparently, Nicki Minaj deleted her Instagram after losing like 10 million followers. Like, girl, what did you think was gonna fucking happen? It's genuinely so crazy to me to like what was going on in her mind, knowing what her fan base is, knowing that her fan base is mainly queer people of color. Like, what did she think was going to happen? I've gotten to a point now where I've taken her out of my playlists because I can't do it. And with all of the stuff that she's done in recent years, I've already kind of been on the verge of that because I was like, okay, maybe I could separate the art from the artist and this and this and that. But at this point, I'm like, no, I can't do this anymore. I cannot in good conscience give you residuals. I can't stream your music and get you paid when you're doing some shit like this. It's really crazy the way that 2025 is going out with a bang, with like so many people getting their asses handed to them and getting their karma. It's giving justice is being served. It's giving Pluto and Aquarius. Everybody needs to be real careful. Bad people need to be real careful right now.
What makes this moment interesting isn't just Nicki herself, it's the pattern. We've seen something similar play out recently with Sydney Sweeney. She upset progressive audiences, then quickly learned that the people cheering her on weren't actually interested in supporting her long term. She didn't become what either side wanted, and the result was isolation rather than alignment, and recently she's been apologizing. Nicki's situation follows that same arc. In stepping outside the values of her audience that carried her career, or at least appearing to, she didn't gain a stable new fan base. Instead, she fractured the one she already had. And that's the real lesson here. When public figures pivot away from their core audience, especially late in their career, there's no guarantee another crowd will replace them. You don't have to agree with your fans by any means, but you have to understand them. Because once people who built you decide they're done, there's no political aisle, no ideology, and no movement that can fully make up for that loss.
Nicki Minaj's downfall was literally captured in 4K HD, high res. Okay? She literally stated in an audience full of MAGA supporters, right-wing supporters, extreme right-winged supporters, that moment being in front of them meant more to her than anything else that she's ever accomplished in her life, in her career. MAGA officially means more to Nicki Minaj than the Barbs. For the last 15 years, Nicki Minaj has been telling her fan base to never give up on education, to never ever stop chasing higher education, only to go inside with the side that's literally defunding education. She went from paying her Barbs tuitions, okay? I'm talking about nursing school, you understand, medical school. She went from paying for you guys' tuition to now offering her platform, her very, very valuable platform, to an administration that is literally destroying American public school systems. The LGBTQ plus community. She told y'all to never stop being who you were, to live in your truth, to stay true to who you are and stay on these bitches' necks, only for her to get on a couch and nationally state to all of you that it's okay to be a boy. As an immigrant who has a lot of immigrant supporters, the Caribbean fucked with her heavy just because she was from the Caribbean, okay? She's now sided with an administration that is literally actively carrying out the most inhumane deportation policy in American history. And she's still a Trinidadian citizen. She's still an immigrant. During the shutdown, the government shutdown, the federal government shutdown, she told the Democrats to stay firm. She tweeted, "Stand strong. The people need you. America needs you." And now, in front of an audience full of MAGA supporters, literally people who hate the entire, almost 95% of her fan base, okay? Literally said that nothing that she's ever accomplished compares, right? It didn't mean as much as this. Those were her words exactly. It didn't mean as much as this, as that moment on Turning Point. Ariana Grande unfollowed her. Amber Rose started defending her. Amber Rose started defending her. I've never been a Barb, although I can always give credit where it's due as far as her talent. But for the Barbs, I actually feel bad for you guys. I actually feel bad for you. Because this is one of the worst ways for you to realize the person that you thought, you understand, spoke to a certain point in your life or helped you get through certain areas, hardships in your life. The music was just the music. I fear she is not the person who you thought she was.
Please leave all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below, and leave a like if you've enjoyed this content so far. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Shay Shay out.